Episode number 421. I pardon you, said he, for the poisoning of my brother, and the assassination of his grace, Lord Buckingham. I pardon you for the death of poor Felton. I pardon you for the attempts upon my own person. Die in peace. And I, said M. d'Artagnan, pardon me, madame, for having by a trick unworthy of a gentleman provoked your anger, and I, in exchange, pardon you the murder of my poor love, and your cruel vengeance against me. I pardon you, and I weep for you. Die in peace. I am lost, murmured Milady in English. I must die. Then she arose of herself, and cast around her one of those piercing looks, which seemed to dart from an eye of flame. She saw nothing, she listened, and she heard nothing. Where am I to die? Said she. On the other bank, replied the executioner. Then he placed her in the boat, and as he was going to set foot in it himself, Athos handed him a sum of silver. Here, said he, is the price of the execution, that it may be plain we act as judges. That is correct, said the executioner. And now in a turn, let this woman see that I am not fulfilling my trade, but my debt. And he threw the money into the river. The boat moved off towards the left-hand shore of the Lys, bearing the guilty woman, and the executioner. All the others remained on the right-hand bank, where they fell on their knees. The boat glided along the ferry rope under the shadow of a pale cloud which hung over the water at that moment. The troop of friends saw it gain the opposite bank. The figures were defined like black shadows on the red-tinted horizon. Milady, during the passage, had contrived to untie the cord, which fastened the feet. On coming near the bank, she jumped lightly on shore and took to flight. But the soil was moist. On reaching the top of the bank, she slipped, and fell upon her knees. She was struck, no doubt, with a superstitious idea. She conceived that heaven denied its aid, and she remained in the attitude in which she had fallen, her head drooping, and her hands clasped. Then they saw from the other bank the executioner raise both his arms slowly. A moonbeam fell upon the blade of the large sword. The two arms fell with a sudden force. They heard the hissing of the scimitar, and the cry of the victim. Then a truncated mass sank beneath the blow. The executioner then took off his red cloak, spread it upon the ground, laid the body in it, threw in the head, tied all up by the four corners, lifted it on his back, and entered the boat again. In the middle of the stream he stopped the boat, and suspending his burden over the water cried in a loud voice, "Let the justice of God be done." And he let the corpse drop into the depths of the waters, which closed over it. 3 days afterwards the four musketeers were in Paris. They had not exceeded their leave of absence, and that same evening they went to pay their customary visit to M. de Treville. "Well, gentlemen," said the brave captain, "I hope you have been well amused during your excursion.